everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is great to see you. First things first, if you're not already, do subscribe to the channel. Hit the button down below. It'll take you 2 seconds and I will wait. Good job, thank you. So, I'm really excited. I just got done with Hasbro's latest round of Q&A. And once again, we were invited to participate in this Q&A session that followed up on the latest Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest. So the questions needed to pertain to Fan Fest, and they pretty much did. And I got to participate alongside some other great fan outlets, some other great collectors. And I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, so be sure to check them out. As those become available, I will put links down in the show notes, so definitely check them out and see what Hasbro had to say to them. So I got to talk to Patrick, who is in charge of marketing at Hasbro Star Wars. I got to visit with Eric, who's one of the lead designers on the Black series. So that being said, let's get right down to it. Same format as last time for this video. I'm going to show you the responses, and then I will provide a commentary on what they told me. So question number 1.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We say this every time, but this is a fun way for us to spend the morning. Ignore meetings and emails for a little bit and just talk Star Wars. So thank you guys. All right, Victoria from Victoria's Cantina. Hey, Victoria.
Hey everybody, good morning. It's great to see everyone here. So firstly, guys, thank you so much for doing things like Fan Fest. It's awesome to see you guys continue to interact with the fan community and engage with us. And we appreciate the opportunity to maintain a dialogue with you guys. So thank you so much.
No problem.
So fans are really happy to see the fan vote returning to the vintage collection. And the 5 choices you announced are some of the most popular in-demand figures that have been in the line, and it makes it very difficult to choose just one. That said, why not release all 5 of them, and they would be the hottest refresh wave of all time, and we would love you forever if you did. Patrick, we would love you forever.
And Eric.
And Eric.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Currently, obviously, the plans are for the winner of that fan vote to come into the line, and not into mainline or the refresh waves. It would be as a Pulse and Shop Disney exclusive, so purely additive to the line. It's not taking a slot away from anything else. Those are the current plans. We'll see what happens in the future, and certainly we've seen comments like this online. I think the biggest reason is those refresh waves, those specialty waves, are intended for, we've always said this, for newer fans. It's for the main characters, and they've done well serving that purpose, bringing new fans in. So with the main characters that kids or newer fans would recognize. So that's kind of the goal of those waves. Obviously, we also have a couple slots in the mainline waves for repacks, and those are for the existing fans. We've traditionally kept those focused on super articulated figures that would be new on a vintage card back. I'm trying to think of examples like the Luke Skywalkers last year from the 2019 SDCC exclusive. But that being said, we've done some reissues in mainline before, like the VC45 figure last year. And so it's something we could certainly look at doing in the future.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem, thank you.
All right, so this is informative. Patrick says that the winner of the fan vote will be a Hasbro Pulse / Shop Disney exclusive, which is like the Disney store. And they sell like Galaxy's Edge merchandise on there that I've been buying because that's what I do. They also said that the refresh waves are bringing in new fans. That's interesting. I'd like to see the data that they have on that. I mean, obviously they must have data, right? That we're not privy to. And they also said that Patrick gave the example of VC45, the clone trooper that they brought back into the vintage collection mainline as an example of a repack that they could do if they really wanted to bring something into mainline. So to me, that's the thing that I'm focusing on. The hover tank pilot was super hard to get. I have one and it's on the card, so I'm not opening that. I'd like more to put in my combat assault tank. I want to see all those figures return. Obviously Ahsoka, she's going between $500 to $1,000 on eBay. That is just absolutely insane. And the Republic Trooper, Star Killer, those would all be smart repacks, things that we in the fan community call smart repacks. That's what these are. So they'd be all great to see come back eventually, no matter who the winner is. So it's great to see the Black Series helmet program continuing. I just got my Mandalorian helmet and it is beautiful. I love everything about it. One of the first ones you guys did was Kylo Ren. I think that was the very first one. And lately it's been selling for like $500 to $1,000 within that window on the secondary market. Could you consider going back and reissuing that, or possibly repainting, retooling it to do a Rise of Skywalker version?
Yeah, so it's certainly a possibility of something that we could do in terms of reissuing it. We currently don't have any plans, at least at the moment, just because we do have so many like great helmets to choose from, at least that are brand new, that we would like to look into as well. But in terms of that figure, or that one in particular, we know that that was basically the first helmet that we did, and it looks really, really cool. And if we were to update it to the Rise of Skywalker, would require new tooling, because it does have kind of an updated sculpt with the kind of cracking as he reassembled it. So it would require new tooling there, but that could be a really cool update, and it's something we could bring back to the team and see what their thoughts are.
All right, so I'm really into the helmets. I'm really into the Force FX lightsabers, the Elite Force FX lightsabers, and yeah, I really want to see Kylo Ren come back. I didn't buy it at the time. I should have. I didn't, and I've been buying the helmets. The Mandalorian helmet is truly a work of art. I posted on Instagram and Twitter about how much I love it, pictures of me wearing it and stuff. So, yeah, this is interesting. So, Eric says that there are more things that they have that they're looking at in terms of new helmets. So I'm not sure who they have in mind, but there are other helmets that they are looking at bringing back. This is also cool because I find it encouraging that he didn't just say, yeah, we'll repaint the Kylo Ren helmet into the Rise of Skywalker. That's a shortcut they could easily do. Instead, he's saying that if they did a Rise of Skywalker version, that they would go back and properly, retool or sculpt it. So they could take that shortcut. And thankfully they're not. They're going to do it right if they get to that helmet. But they could still repack it. So I know there's a lot of demand for the Kylo Ren Black Series helmet. And yeah, I hope they do it. So at FanFest, you guys showed us glimpses of the Black Series figures that had been previously shown as pipeline reveals. They all look incredible, and it is great to see continued focus on the Mandalorian and the Clone Wars. That being said, since we are in a bit of a slow period before all of these shows and all this content starts to come out in these coming years, do you foresee yourselves catching up on some of the critical characters that may have been missed from recent films, such as Kira in her Kessel outfit from Solo, Luke in his Crate outfit, or Emperor Palpatine from The Rise of Skywalker, just to name a few?
Yeah, so while we don't have anything that we can announce or any comment on right now for anything that's unreleased or unrevealed, we do use this kind of downtime in between entertainments when we are either waiting on assets or waiting for release of a particular piece of entertainment to kind of backfill certain characters that are missing from other pieces of entertainment. So, and especially now that we have this kind of new collection focused Black Series line with like focusing on the specific pieces of entertainment, it is something that we would like to start to do in building out each of those individual collections. We think that would be really fun. And yeah, so we don't have anything in particular to comment on right now, but definitely keep an eye out for like our future streams and stuff like that. And for future announcements, we'll have some more stuff coming.
Great. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So as expected, he couldn't reveal anything. Obviously these Q&As are not meant for reveals. They're meant to clarify details. They're meant to elaborate on things that were previously announced at FanFest. And I have a feeling, just a gut feeling, that sometime in the coming months, at least one of these will be announced. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't have any inside info on that. That's just a hunch. I have a feeling that at least one of these might be announced before too long. We'll see. And he says that, right now during slow periods, or they're waiting for assets on new designs, and they have these lulls between content, that they can, in fact, go back and create items that are missing, critical items that are missing. So I hope that they're taking advantage of this right now, because like I said, Keyren or Kessel Run outfit, I've been asking them for that figure for such a long time. That's like one of the top 5 I need to see in Black Series or Vintage Collection. I'd love to see a Vintage Collection Kira because she's overdue.
Victoria, you're up.
So during FanFest, you noted that Rogue One would be seeing a little bit more attention since this year is its 5th anniversary. Some of your Vintage Collection Rogue One figures do not yet have photoreal, and Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor. And we're still awaiting heavy hitters like Tarkin and Krennic, specifically from Rogue One. And I suppose rather than a question, perhaps a suggestion might be those delightful 3-packs that you guys sometimes do with various figures in order to update some of those previous Rogue One figures and perhaps stick new ones in there to make them more enticing. And the same could be done perhaps for some of the Black Series figures 3 3/4 that were released from 2013 to 2016.
Yeah. I never thought I'd see anyone request the Wave 1 Jyn Erso again. But no, I'm just kidding. Rogue One, as we've said, we know it's close to fans' hearts. We're going to see more in Rogue One this year, and we'll certainly see more Rogue One, regardless of what happens this year in both scales in the future. We're definitely aware of the missing Rogue One vintage figures. You mentioned Krennic and Tarkin. Obviously, there's also Baze and Bodhi. And so it's just always, again, balancing that versus, all the new entertainment. We know there's a lot of characters from Mandalorian that are highly desired. I'm sure the same will be true for future entertainment. And so it's always just kind of keeping an eye on the number of slots we have and putting the best possible characters in those slots, while acknowledging kind of the realities of, some are newly tooled, some are repacks for new fans, etc.
I mean, it kills my OCD that I can have some of these Rogue One figures on the shelf and they have photoreal and some don't. The same thing with Han Solo from the Solo Vintage Collection assortment. Put him next to Lando. Lando looks fantastic. He's got photoreal. He looks great. And Han. But yeah, straightforward. He's saying that Rogue One is going to continue to get focused this year. Nothing new to reveal, of course, but there will be some things coming later in the year, it sounds like. And I'm all for it. What they've been doing with Rogue One for the Vintage Collection, K2SO, Chirrut Imwe, Darth Vader. Those have been stellar figures, and I really want to see Krennic. I love Director Krennic. And I want to see a new Tarkin that is not green. And let's see it. More Rogue One. Why not? And more Solo, too. So the Vintage Collection gaming greats that you revealed during FanFest look terrific. I'm especially excited about the packaging and how you guys created new colors to use for the name pills and background. I think that looks really, really cool. So the 4 figures that you revealed consist primarily of repainted and retooled figures. Going forward, can we expect that some of the gaming greats might include all new sculpts, or will this line primarily focus on repaints and retools? And can you let us know if what the numbering system looks like for these figures?
So in terms of the kind of gaming grate line in particular, the gaming greats primarily focus on kind of repaints and retools, but that does not mean that we won't do newly tooled characters. So the newly tooled characters are more appropriate for like mainline releases. So that's where those will kind of live more. So as we've seen kind of with the Black Series and hopefully continuing with the Vintage Collection, the gaming grades characters have seemed to do very well. And that certainly helps us to be able to pitch other characters forward. I've been a huge proponent for trying to get gaming characters into the line in particular. And so while we probably won't see newly tooled as part of gaming grades, that doesn't mean that we won't do newly tooled gaming characters.
Great. And the numbering system on those?
Oh, yeah. So I think Patrick has mentioned this previously. Outside of like HasLab, every Vintage Collection figure will have a number on the card. I don't think we have specific numbers, at least not, I don't off the top of my head about what those are, but they will be numbered. So pretty much everything outside of the HasLab will be numbered.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Problem.
Cool.
So they will be numbered. It sounds like they will be numbered in the main line, so I don't know what the numbers are. maybe 204, 5, 6. It could be something like that. But they will be numbered, so that is neat. So yeah, it sounds like unlike what they're doing with Black Series, which sometimes you kind of get retools or you kind of get new stuff like the upcoming Cal Kestis. You know, he's got a new outfit, new gear. Seems to be a pretty heavily retooled figure. It doesn't sound like we're going to see that in Vintage Collection. These are going to be primarily repaints, and it sounds like Eric said, that anything that comes into the Vintage Collection with a brand new sculpt is going to be part of the main line. It's not going to be a refresh. It's not going to be a gaming grate. It will be in the main line. So that is interesting. And yeah, these gaming grates, they look really cool. I really do love the packaging on them and the figures too. You know, I know that we saw them in 6-inch first, but that's okay. I would totally buy them, of course, in 3 3/4. Who wouldn't? They're Vintage Collection. They look fantastic. They utilize that great, the troopers anyway, Rogue One Stormtrooper mold. So I'm all here for it. Give us more. And yeah, really looking forward to those.
Well, that brings us to the end. We said this at the top, but thank you guys so much. Again, this is a fun way for us to spend the morning. And I know, I think we're in some different time zones here. Obviously, Sebastian and Volker are several hours ahead. So hopefully it's not too late there. Mark as well. I don't know, David and Victoria, maybe you're in North America, maybe not. But these things have gotten really global, which is great. So thank you guys for taking the time, whatever time zone it may be. And we look forward to doing one again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it so much.
Guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So yeah, that'll do it, guys. Huge thanks to Hasbro and Litzky PR for arranging this Q&A and inviting us to participate once again. I love doing them. And yeah, they're a lot of fun and they're informative. If you like what we're doing here, buy a t-shirt. We are on Patreon. Links are down below. Check us out. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And yeah, more content on the way. Be sure to tune into the Vintage Collection podcast, where I just spoke with Dan Curto, legendary collector, used to work for Rebel Scum and was involved with Hasbro in a lot of the design decisions that resulted in things like Saga Legends back in 2007, 2008. So really informative. We talk about the Vintage Collections Phase 1 and the Vintage Collections Phase 2, how they are different, how they are similar, and where we hope things go in the future. Also, Cantina Chatter podcast. You can get these shows anywhere you listen to podcasts, anywhere you download podcasts. They are available. And thanks again for tuning in, you guys. I really appreciate you. I love talking about this stuff. So be sure to check out those podcasts and stay tuned for the next video. Until then, be safe, be well, and collect them all.